Che, Ngwa, Linus, ye business system for Bamenda, they don't open back and they don't continue for they make a profit, for they make money on the blood of the Anglophone civilian population, the way they don't kill them. Like Madame Joko Frida, the deputy mayor for Bamenda. All of these people, them, including Madame Ayafo Florence, now victims of JC, Funmi Christopher, the ADF terrorist, where they be there in business with Ngwa Linus. They sell building construction materials, they build hotels and mansions together inside Bamenda. They are making a killing, literally. They kill people them for make a lot of money. And after we compromise Funmi Christopher, aka General JC, inside Lira Hotel, when a Ngwa Linus ye hotel, Linus a run a go Nigeria, but within a few weeks, he don't connive with some people that inside Bamenda and they still work for get their names and their positions. And we believe, say some of those people then they work inside the Cameroon government, inside Bamenda. It don't connive with them for reopen the business premises them where it be built on the blood of Anglophones them, like the deputy mayor, Madame Joko Frida, where they kill in public, Madame Ayafo Florence, where they beheading, and this man, where he be been a handicapped man for Old Town for Bamenda, where JC himself, Funmi Christopher, a murder ye. Now, with the call on the authorities them for the whole of Northwest, from the governor right to the divisional officers and for Bamenda 1, Bamenda 2, the SDO for Mezam, and even the highest authority, the Minister of Territorial Administration, Minister Paul Antanganji, had sent this message directly to all Wuna. Wuna, please take note of this case because we go start to reveal the names of the people the way they inside this mafia, where they make money from the blood of our people them. Like Madame Joko Frida, I don't call the name, and thousands of other people them, where they don't kill them so that they go make money for build their hotels, for build their mansions them, and some people the day where they collect the money, they put some for their pocket as well, because the people the way they issue building permits, the people the way they issue the business registration and all of those things them, the people the way they issue all of those documents them, we need to know who authorized this Linus businesses there for open back. The construction company where we get them for Bamenda and the Lira Hotel and the Kamyong them and all the other small businesses we get them in town, we need to shut them all down. No one should be allowed to profit from criminality, from the blood of what people, the way they kill them in cold blood and then they make a profit on top. That is a slap in the face of all the victims them, where these terrorists, ADF, JC, Funmi Christopher, and of course Cho Lucas Ayaba, Capo Daniel Dong Emmanuel, and all of these criminals them, the ones where they abroad and the ones where they inside Cameroon. If we identify any person, I don't care who you be, say you be involved. So now why that would they beg the governor, would they beg all the authorities them, would they beg all man, say when I put an eye for this particular case, there is no reason, no excuse whatsoever why Linus, your business is the way we know, we get evidence, say he used now blood money for build those businesses them. We compromise Funmi Christopher, so-called General JC, inside the hotel. He come on run, go Nigeria. We still waiting for can face justice inside Cameroon. He must be tracked down, he must be arrested, and he must face trial and face the consequences for this betrayal, for this treason, for this criminality. There is no justification, there is no excuse, and we go after the rest of the people then. So if any person go try for make documents or for bribe or for do anything for open Linus businesses them, that construction company and all that construction material company and any other business where we get inside Bamenda, that person too na criminal and he go face justice. This one na clarion call, this one na warning, this one will send them now to the authorities then for alert them of which way it happened inside Bamenda. The criminality the profiting on the blood of the Bamenda people, them, the Northwesterners, them, it go end. We will not allow that thing for continue. So today, na number 17 day for June 2025, where I make this message, say make the people, them, the authorities, them inside Bamenda, they take note. Whether now you be the tax man, whether now you be the people that want to register businesses, them, whether now you be the people that want to certify all of these things, them, the planning permits and all of those things, them, will not get a job and a responsibility for make sure say we not know authorize any person where we know for the fact say it create that business on blood money. Those businesses should be sealed and investigation should be launched on all of these businesses them. And any person where no follow through with this, then that person will go hold it accountable because he being at the one way Ngwa Linus is not for Nigeria, it paid the millions for make sure say make a business they open, make it sure for Nigeria continue for the benefit from that blood money where able to collect them ye and JC them. That nonsense we not allow and make it continue. So we will send this message to all the big people the way they come up for Bamenda. Whether you be parliamentarian, you be minister, you be mayor, you be SDO, you be son of the soil inside Bamenda, we they work hard for make sure say we eradicate this criminality and this terrorism for Bamenda. So please, we now follow through for make sure say that business, all of those construction equipment business and the hotels and the camion, all of those things they be grounded. That is the only way for defeat Ambazonia terrorism. We take away the ability for them for make money out of the criminality and the nonsense it go stop. Thank you, plenty my country people them.
You cannot sue BBC, even so-called Agwambala, on fraud. Why? Take it from me or don't take it. Because fraud is a crime. You must prove it beyond reasonable doubt. But you can succeed in the court if you sue them on misrepresentation, even misrepresentation, intentional misrepresentations.
Because what is the misrepresentation? It's fraud.
No, the point is got it. Let me
I didn't talk. Why don't you let me finish my point?
Okay, finish.
I don't intervene. It's not fraud. There's what we call misrepresentation, and there's what we call negligent misrepresentation. Totally different from fraud. Fraud is a crime. We have been proven beyond reasonable doubt. If Mr. Nsong did not know this, go and do your work again. You have not even finished the whole segment.
What are you talking about? Are you challenging my ability? Are you challenging me?
I'm challenging you. Well, it's not fair between you and me.
But you look at. Have you heard what he has just said about me?
No, that's not it. No. Might have proved that understood, right?
Again, if you have to bring me here.
I mean, how can he say that? How can he say that about me?
It's not a fight between you and Mr. It's not a fight between you.
It's personal. You made it personal now.
You said it was fraud. I simply quoted you. You said it was fraud.
I am saying intentional misrepresentation. Intentional misrepresentation it could be fraud depending upon the fact. Intentional misrepresentation could be fraud depending upon the facts.
You didn't say intentional.
That's what I'm telling you. Intentional misrepresentation is fraud sometimes.
But anyway, if you want to answer this program, give me the opportunity to say what I want to say.
But I see what you have to say here.
Listen to me. When my Sanso talks, I don't intervene. I stay quiet.
Yeah, we have been talking now for over 1 hour. I have not said anything.
Yeah,
but you say that I should go and learn. I should go and learn. You ask me to go and learn at this age.
Well, my friend,
that's personal.
It's not personal. I simply quoted you. You said this thing was fraudulent. Quoting by Sanso. You said it was fraudulent. There's nothing.
No. I said intentional listen to me. I said intentional misrepresentation can be fraud.
Well, let me remember my point. The bottom line is, we shall plead with you. If you want me to come to these programs next time, make sure when you give me the opportunity to speak for 5 minutes, for 3 minutes, let me speak. When any of you speaks, or when I
speak,
go
ahead and give the point.
I don't intervene in their contributions.
Yes, that's true. But Ambassador, give your point. Make your point.
Yeah, whether you like it or not, it should not be a quarrel between you and me. Ambazonia is not me. It's not you.
No, that's true. That's what I'm saying. I'm making your point so that you can get the point you're making.
I don't see this. No, I don't see this hyper. That when I take my own 3 minutes, you say, no, time you should too short, the program is close. That is disrespectful of me. When it's over 10 minutes,
Ambassador, make your point.
Let us be a little bit cautious. I'm making the point not to party, I'm making this point to the world that is following us. I'm not making the point.
Yes, that's why I'm giving you the opportunity to now make the point.
So I made the point. Like it or not, that's my stand.
Okay. That
I find it. Look, this is a fraud on the Ambazonian people. The British should know that anybody who did this documentary from the British media should know that that was fraud committed on the Ambazonian people. Tell the story as it is. The least you can do is to tell the story as it is. And Ogobala will sit there and lie. It's a travesty of a lawyer.
Just to confirm some of the things and to enable this conversation in a way that it should go, is the fact that we are seeing progressive flip-flopping of Ogobala. He's first of all not willing to be on exile. He's not willing to stay in prison. But Mr. I want to get your reaction to this.
Well, my reaction is that it's good for us to go back to the drawing board of this segment so as to be sure of what we're talking about. You see, this segment is titled ABC Fraud, a BBC fraud exposed. Is there any fraud by the BBC? Certainly not. That documentary, all the narrators in that documentary, they don't work for the BBC. The documentary simply aired through BBC. So if there was something there that we disagree with, it is not with the BBC. And just like Mr. Aso is saying, that's a Ogobala talking. It is not BBC. They simply aired the documentary. And so if there's any fraud, it is not their fraud. If I had the opportunity, I would simply put it as a misrepresentation. The facts are simply misrepresented. And having said that, only in one sentence, what I will do next is simply to go and correct the misrepresented facts. Because the problem we have, which I've always tried to say, is this: sometimes we spend more time disagreeing with somebody who does not agree with us than putting our own points, which are the correct version, which would be the correct version. So, because I think I've learned a bit from the American political system. When you get an American politician, a Democrat, a Republican, in a press conference, they don't have often an hour. They have about 30 minutes, 25 minutes at most. And then if you ask that guy, if he's a Republican, a question, he would tend to what the Republicans want and explain only that one, because that's what they want you to hear. They're not going to waste their time castigating the Democrats or vice versa. They will say this is the position of Trump. Want to deport people who are illegally here. It doesn't matter whether Biden accepts or not. This is our policy. And so we should focus on these things. What is misrepresented there is what we should be trying to let the world understand. Because when we put it be a BBC fraud, we target the BBC. The BBC is not the best of my knowledge. It's not the spokes.
But let me come. I can cue you. I'll cue you in. You're going to speak. I'm sorry for that. Let me explain the reason why I think it's a BBC fraud, and I can argue that. Because the BBC has an editorial. I do the news every day. BBC cannot claim that they brought Ogobala. This was not an interview. This is a documentary which has been sponsored by the BBC, and the BBC is liable to the documentary because the documentary was scripted.
Correct.
You get it?
Correct.
Now, if it was random, so the BBC, what I'm saying is a legal thing. If BBC thinks that I have caught it a fraud and I am wrong, let them take me to court. I am saying that BBC's documentary is a fraud because BBC could have processed it and choose not to air it because BBC knows the truth. So the BBC documentary is a fraud. I'm happy that you agree with me that there are misrepresentation, and that's why BBC should have. Right now, if I'm talking to you, you say something that's a misrepresentation. It's a live show. I can't edit it. It is good for me to claim that it's a misrepresentation. But for BBC to prepare a documentary, publicize the documentary with a flyer, publish it 3 days later on with misrepresentation, it is a legal standing for me to say that BBC has done a fraud. And I would think that they did it intentionally. And that's why Donald Trump calls them fake news, because they cannot say they don't know truth. I agree with Trump that they are fake news. BBC, CNN, they lie a lot. So this is the point. The BBC documentary that carries misrepresentation is a fraud. And I don't know why we opted to air the fraud. Maybe now that we are on air, let us expose the fraud by saying the misrepresentations that people like Akobala and the reporter Ayon, these are two guys from Bayern, both of them were lying. So let's explain to the world the fact the documentary is a fraud because of the misrepresentation of Ayon, the journalist, and the misrepresentation of Akobala that has been put together, edited, produced, sponsored, and published by the BBC. Please, Barrister.
Well, this is the point. If you had allowed me to end.
No, please, you have the chance. Go ahead.
No, but if you allow me to go to the end, maybe you would have said it in a better way. This is my point. What we do here is not in your personal interests, neither is it in mine. And so we have to get a strategy on how we will fight those who disagree with. This is just the fact. BBC misrepresentations, you may call them fraud, but one thing you should also understand is BBC is a news media that is followed worldwide. BBC and you and me, we don't have the same following like BBC. And so if the BBC went out again now, in a time of retort, to issue a rejoinder, they are going to get more people listening to them than you and me. And you've given a wrong example. The fact that Donald Trump calls them a fake news is not the same thing that you would call them fake news. Donald, as an individual, one, as the President of the United States, two, he has a larger following. He's addressing the world. People are listening to him worldwide. I'm not sure that we can match 1/10 of the viewership of the listener of the listening audience.
I agree with you. Let us talk about the misrepresentation so that the BBC can know the misrepresentation.
Well, you're cutting me short, please.
No, go ahead, please.
Let me finish my segment. And so that's
very soon it will be 7 o'clock, man. Very soon it will be 7.
No, go ahead, please.
My point is, and my strong advice is, as much as we disagree with people, with organizations, the way we describe them is also very, very important. Again, BBC is not the voice of the United Kingdom government. It's not CRTV. It's a private organization. Though they operate from London, they might have an interest to protect. But take note, BBC will not take the insults of the British government. And therefore, it is better for us, this is my view, and that's what I've always tried to do, to correct where they go wrong, rightly or wrongly, to correct where they misrepresent intentionally or unintentionally, and put out our own points. This is what is the correct thing. And let me just give an example. If I were the one to put it out there, I said that guy was
no, but just put it. Don't try to correct, or just correct them. Just correct them. It will help. You know what I'm saying is, when I want people like this guy, Dr. Fuse,
I was just trying to say that. Well, the
I realize that we Ambazonians are trying to be so careful that even Americans, when the media says something that's not correct, you have activists or the other media comes out and criticizing that media house. But we're trying to be so, we are being so careful. Slogans every day. Apologies to want to criticize another media house for a mistaken thing.
Now, you're making it personal, and this is what I was saying. We would have corrected that version, we would have corrected that misinterpretation by simply saying that what he has said is wrong. What happened was the UN General Assembly entrusted a territory to the UK to administer. They administered it wrongly by dividing them into two. In fact, by creating their own two trust territories, called one called Northern Cameroon and one called Southern Cameroon. So the issue of asking people to vote and join Nigeria or vote and join Cameroon was wrong. It's a misrepresentation of the facts as they are. It's a misrepresentation of the law. That way, people who are listening to us who already understand what we are disagreeing with immediately, factually and legally. They will proceed. I'm not a boot leaker, but I'm a strategic leaker. Even if I want to leak your boots, I will strategically leak it where I will score my goal. So getting a little bit emotional and quarreling with me or with somebody else is not the solution. We are here to see what strategy we can use, to see how we can correct the wrongs that have been done to us in the right way that we'll get what we want to get. Again, mounting a fight with BBC, which BBC is rightly or wrongly using our own citizens, Agwambala and those people narrating there, to tell the same story that you and me are trying to tell. It's the wrong strategy. We could say, Agwambala said this is wrong. The other narrator said this is right or it's wrong. And give the reason why they are saying the right or wrong thing. I say why Agwambala is even an agent of Yahweh, that's okay. But Agwambala's fault or whoever doesn't become the responsibility of BBC. Again, BBC aired the documentary, they didn't produce it. Again, it will be strategic.
No. BBC produced the documentary. By Mr. I want to make a correction there. The documentary.
Okay, let's move on. I remember my point. We don't need to develop. Don't need to be there.
Yeah, I'd like us to move on. This is an important thing so that people don't carry the misconception. This is not a random street interview done by BBC. A documentary, before it is done, a script is written by an editor-in-chief that processes it, and a field reporter is gone. I did documentary in December where we sent journalists on the ground in the refugee camp to interview people. Before they went there, we knew what we wanted to go and get. We just had facts. BBC had this, right? This is a sensitive issue. A media house have a responsibility of the information that they give out, because, and by law, is that we are not a nation that can sue them for fraud yet. But a media house has a responsibility because the information they give can either bring a war or it can bring peace. This documentary by BBC should have been edited. And these people should have been told that before the people that they call Anglophones got offended, they had taken Sam Sawyer and beheaded him in front of his wife. They went to Kendam village in 2017, took a baby and fried in palm oil. And put it on. The story was strategic, whereby a lone girl who lost the husband, they took that girl and made the girl the centerpiece of that documentary. I'm not a fool when I watch the subliminal effect of that documentary. I listened to it. The documentary was strategic enough to paint the struggle that the people of Ambazonia are killing their own people. And BBC watched this documentary after they produced it and edit. So it is a fraud. Now let us expose the fraud by educating people that this information given by BBC is not true. If BBC is offended, let them sue us. We are saying that their documentary is a fraud.
I agree.
Okay, please. Yeah, by some through you wanted to make a contribution.
Well, they carefully left out the declaration of war, which was what sparked this war. They left that out. Why? To benefit, so that the regime can benefit. They left out the fact that it was not it was a war declared on the people of the southern Cameroons by La République du Cameroon. It had nothing to do with language. And all the lies told by the narrator, who happens to be, I'm now hearing that he's a Mafia man, just like Agwabala. Agwabala will sit there and lie, and he cannot reflect and think that before the lawyers, before I was there, before we started reacting, 22nd of September has come and gone, where people were killed. 1st October has come and gone. What are we talking about? That there was no violence throughout when the lawyers and the teachers were reacting? My God. Arrest.
There's another excerpt of this video I want us to react, because by Sambesia likes us to get to the fact. Let's go to an excerpt in the video. So we react to some of the
Paddy, wait. You are cutting me short all the time.
No, go ahead.
Because we are reacting to what you have not even put hold there. I've not heard the whole story. But again, when we are here, my advice, and my very strong advice, is the way we float out words is important. And you have said 2, 3, 4 times, suing somebody. And let me say it here emphatically. There is no way, there's no court, based on what you have produced there, just that segment. You cannot sue BBC, even so-called Agwambala, on fraud. Why? Take it from me or don't take it. Because fraud is a crime. You must prove it beyond reasonable doubt. But you can succeed in a court if you sue them on misrepresentation, even misrepresentation, intentional misrepresentations. Because
what is intentional misrepresentation? It's fraud.
No, the point is got you. Let me
I didn't talk. Why don't you let me finish my point?
Okay, finish.
I don't intervene. It's not fraud. There's what we call misrepresentation, and there's what we call negligent misrepresentation. Totally different from fraud. Fraud is a crime which shall be proven beyond reasonable doubt. If Mr. Nsong did not know this, go and do your work again. You have not even finished the whole segment.
What are you talking about? Are you challenging my ability? Are you challenging me?
I'm challenging your legal. That's understood. It's not fair between you and me.
But you look at. Have you heard what he has just said about me?
No, that's not it. No. That's understood, right?
Again, if you have to bring me here.
I mean, how can he say that? How can he say that about me?
It's not a fight between you and Mr. It's not a fight between you.
It's personal. You've made it personal now.
You said it was fraud. I simply quoted you. You said it was fraud.
I am saying intentional misrepresentation. Intentional misrepresentation could be fraud depending upon the fact. Intentional misrepresentation could be fraud depending upon the facts.
You didn't say intentional.
That's what I'm telling you. Intentional misrepresentation is fraud sometimes.
But anyway, Paddy, if you want to answer this program, give me the opportunity to say what I want to say.
I see what you have to say here.
Listen to me. When my Sanso talks, I don't intervene. I stay quiet.
Yeah, we have been talking now for over 1 hour. I have not said anything.
Yeah,
but if you say that I should go and learn, I should go and learn. You ask me to go and learn at this age.
Well, my friend,
that's personal.
It's not personal. You quote, I simply quoted you. You said this thing was fraudulent. Quoting Malsanso. You said it was fraudulent. There's nothing.
No. I said intentional No, listen to me. I said intentional mispresentation can be fraud.
Well, let me remember a point. The bottom line is, by the we shall plead with you. If you want me to come to these programs next time, make sure when you give me the opportunity to speak for 5 minutes, for 3 minutes, let me speak. When any of you speaks, or when I speak, go ahead and give the point. I don't intervene in their contributions.
Yes, that's true, but and give your point, make your point.
Yeah, whether you like it or not, it should not be a quarrel between you and me. Ambazonia is not me, it's not you.
No, that's true. That's what I'm saying. That make your point so that you can get the point you're making.
I don't see this. No, listen, I don't see this hyper. That when I take my own 3 minutes, you say, no, the time you should too short, the program was close. That is disrespectful of me. When it's over 10 minutes,
make your point.
Let me a little bit cautious. I'm making the point not to party, I'm making this point to the world that is following us. I'm not making the point.
Yes, that's why I'm giving you the opportunity to make the point.
So I've made the point. Like it or not, that's my stand.
Okay. That
Lesson number 1, my country talks about it. Listen, whether or not you accept my country is a force to reckon with. Me, I agree. He's an enemy that is strong. So Ambazonians will thank my country people for the wonderful job. Now, we'll go ahead.